Welcome everybody to this Leisure and Community Committee meeting, Monday the 11th of November. As usual, let me just sign out first. Please note this meeting has been recorded by the Town Council and where possible live streamed on YouTube. Please note the recording device is sensitive and the live stream may be recorded by third parties, so do not say anything you do not want recorded. If necessary, I will direct all recording in the room and the live stream to be stopped, but generally I want to avoid doing that, so we normally record everything except any item taken in closed session. Members of the public may also make their own recordings but must follow our rules for doing so, including stopping recording when requested. Whilst we do not accept anonymous speakers at public forum, members of the public who wish to speak but do not want their names published must please indicate this before saying your piece. Thank you very much. As it is the 11th of the 11th, I think it would be appropriate just to have a minute's silence to remember all those who have suffered in the past and are still suffering. So if you wouldn't mind. Thank you very much indeed. Okay. Item 2 then, your absence.
Chair, with apologies from Councillor Quincox.
Thank you very much. Everyone else is here. Item 3 is declarations of interest and question dispensations. Anybody? Tom? Minutes of the last meeting held on 9th of September, which you all had. Hopefully read as well. So could I have a proposer for those? Councillor Hanlon. Secondly, Councillor Smith. All those in favour, please show. Okay. Sign the paper. Yeah. Right, to note progress from those minutes, start with page 107, and Amy and Park, we had that at the community events meeting. Sorry? The community events meeting. Yeah, community events meeting. I was sort of desperate to when that was. What day that was. Next on page 108.
I don't think I've done that one. I don't remember the answer if they told me, so I apologise.
Sheets of donations. We haven't. I'm not aware that we've had a breakdown of Spectrix fees either.
No, I have made that request.
Karen Chapel, she's not
able to at this meeting, so Sandra Lane is attending this one.
Yeah, Sandra will be in a little while. And equally, the next one down, Sandra has done this in her latest report, and she'll be here to answer any questions you may have hopefully shortly. The grant request there, which we
in process.
Which process. Moving on to page 109, which has nothing on it, and the rest is the report. Thank you very much. Item next one is public forum. There's no members of the public here. So we'll as we go down here, what we'll do is we'll go on straight on to item 8 alpha A, and Mushakul had his report. So over to you now.
Thank you. So I don't intend to bore you by going through the report because you've had it. But just to say we've had a very successful period, lots of sold out shows. We've got lots of very strong sales for future shows too. The pantomime continues to do very well. The new brochure will start dropping on people's door mats on Wednesday. So it is my expectation that there will be another spike in sales once that goes out, because that's always the pattern. There'd be something terribly wrong if it didn't. There will be, on the pantomime, there will be, remember last year, because we, for the first year, took on the pantomime ourselves and started producing it ourselves, rather than buying it in, we did a proper launch evening. That then went down very well, so we intend to do that again, so you will all be receiving, all councillors will receive an invitation to that evening for you and your partners to come along, and grandchildren if you so wish. We are extending our offer in terms of the things that we produce for ourselves rather than rely on market forces. In the past, I know there has been some concern around the Easter offering here. I know Councillor Burns particularly has felt that it's very tired, diminishing returns, that we should and could do better. So I've taken that on board, and we are producing in partnership with a company called Rent a Dinosaur, of all things, a spectacular Easter show for children and families called Jurassica Spectacular, which is a dinosaur show. Touring dinosaur shows, these sort of animatronic dinosaur things, are quite common, go on say it. But we've never been able to get one because we're too small. We can't fit the dinosaurs in and in the wings. And so I have at last found a company that can make it work. And so this is truly a bit of a one-off, not only because we're doing it ourselves and it's a big change for us, but in terms of the size of the venue, I don't think there's a venue this size anywhere else that is able to offer this kind of production. So I'm very pleased with that, and we hope it sells out so that we can do it again. Equally, in the February half term, because we had a bit of a lull while I wasn't here in terms of seeking out product, quite a lot of the February half term stuff was gone, but I was not prepared to be defeated. So because we didn't get anything, we're going to produce our own show for February half term, which is going to be around the theme of princesses and the princess party, which again, similar shows tour around theatres all around the country, and they're hugely popular, sell out everywhere. But because they're so popular, they won't come here because they can't make enough money here because we've only got 200 seats. So rather than keep begging them and them saying no, I've decided we'll do our own. So we're doing that too. I've talked a lot in the past about the fact that our comedy offer here has been slowly dying over a number of years. We've had this regular monthly or bi-monthly comedy club for some time. It certainly predates me by a long time, but ever since I've been here, it's been a concern, because not only because it loses a bit of money because there's only ever a handful of people here, but also because it didn't used to be like that. It used to be very busy, but also because the people that do come are getting a terrible experience, because if you're at a comedy night, the room has to be full, otherwise nobody laughs and it becomes all a bit awkward. And so I've been determined for some time to sort that out. So we have much in the way that I did with the jazz evenings that had followed a similar trajectory, downward trajectory. I've had a rethink of our comedy offer. We're doing a bit of a rebrand like we did with jazz, but most significantly,
You want to come
that was definitely a very creamy moment.
That's one to go, isn't it?
So, like we did with the jazz, we're rethinking comedy, and I've now got a new promoter on board, and we are raising the bar very considerably with comedy. So, instead of having regular comedy nights that sort of with comedians nobody's heard of, we've now got a new promoter, and we're concentrating on big name comedy. So our first two are Marcus Brigstock and Sean Walsh, and we haven't actually announced them yet. We've just put them on the website. As I said, the brochure hasn't even gone out yet, and they're 50% sold out. So it's working.
It's on live stream.
Okay.
It's on live stream.
Yeah, well, good. Buy your tickets now. So that's another positive development, I think. Other things, when I first came here, I wanted to start a sort of literacy offer here, because after all we are an arts centre, so I try and cover all of the arts, not just the performing arts. And we had Anne Fine here, who was the Children's Laureate. She's quite a hard act to follow, but we've managed to get Michael Rosen, who I think is arguably even more famous.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's coming in February, and we're going to do a similar thing. I think maybe Councillor Hanlon, you came, didn't you, to Anne Fine, I think?
Yeah.
So we're going to do a similar thing. We're going to invite the schools and make it a big schools event, and we're asking for West Suffolk councillors to help us with some locality money for that. We've got one of the exhibitions from the Hayward Touring series again, which is obviously very high profile, so that's a nice tick in the visual arts box. I have established some new providers for cinema programming who could offer up quite considerable savings on our current bills, because they are very high for what when you compare it to the amount of cinema we actually do. And so I'm working on finalising that deal. We got some warm spaces money from West Suffolk again, which is good news. I have a full application ready to be submitted to the Suffolk County Council Culture Fund. That's ready to go. And we are in the process of submitting our first stage application to the Heritage Lottery Fund to see whether they will entertain coming on the journey with us to redevelop the Arts Centre, which is obviously a much bigger conversation. But the initial stage 1 application is very broad brush, and it just gets you into the system or not, and it's designed to stop people wasting their time, basically. So that application with a following wind will be submitted before Christmas. I also thought it just might be interesting for you. You know that we did, or rather Sarah led on, the Knife Angel project. The precursor to the Knife Angel project was my knife crime theatre project that I got some money from the Police and Crime Commissioner to do. It was in fact the largest investment the Police and Crime Commissioner has made in this area, so we were lucky, very successful with that application. But consequently it was quite a big project to pull off. And it involved a week of, we commissioned a special play about knife crime, especially for Haverhill. And it was aimed, most plays about knife crime for obvious reasons are aimed at secondary school kids and up. But this play, the difference between what everybody else has always done and what we did is that we decided to go with primary, to get in early, to get the message across, because early intervention is proven to be much more effective. And so we commissioned this play, especially for Haverhill, especially for primary school children. We did it in partnership with a company in London that does it all the time. and works with the Met Police very successfully on this kind of stuff. And we brought that play to the Arts Centre for a week. And during that week, nearly 1,500 primary school children saw that play. We then sort of put that project to bed and moved on, did The Knife Angel, and etc., etc. However, part of the conditions of that project was that it was properly evaluated, which, you know, is a good thing, but a bit of a ball ache. But nevertheless, we did it, and the evaluation report has just come back. And so I was reading it today, and I just thought that there are a couple of things that I thought you might like to hear. Because while these evaluation reports sometimes are sort of done because the funder requires it, rather than because anybody actually ever reads it, this one, I have to say, has surprised me. I'm not saying, I hasten to add, that Haverhill has a knife crime problem, but these results are quite interesting. So what we did is we asked every primary school student that came to fill out a very simple questionnaire on their own, in their own words, before they saw the play. And then a week after they had seen the play, we asked them to fill out a questionnaire again, on their own, in their own words. And just a couple of really interesting points. 49% of those young people had considered carrying a knife to defend themselves. This is primary school kids. However, after seeing the play, that reduced to 3% of young people who thought it was a good idea to carry a knife to defend themselves. I thought that was a very stark but interesting and encouraging figure, and it does show that these projects are worthwhile, and they are actually, you know, the arts can be, and clearly is, a very powerful educator. Another thing is that we asked how many young people understood the consequences of carrying a knife. And only about 7% said that they really understood the consequences of carrying a knife. This is primary school children, so maybe that's not surprising. However, after seeing the play, 98% of them said that they understood the consequences of carrying a knife. So, I mean, I could go on, there's quite a lot, but I just thought those couple of things were really interesting, and, you know, I think should make you as members feel very good about the investment that you make and what you do here, because it clearly does make a big impact. The schools that came were St Felix, Clements, Place Farm, Keddington, Newcastle, Barneston, Westfield, Steeple, Hunden, Couples, Castle Manor, Stoke College, Samuel Ward, Burton End and Stour Valley. So only, I think, one of those was a Year 7 class, the rest were Year 5 and 6. So that's...
Thank you, Dan.
I think that's me. I'm obviously happy to take any questions or anything you want, but...
Councillor Smith.
Yeah, thanks for that. That's a very good report there. To pick up on the last point you made, 1,500 primary school teachers and one there saw it, and I would really perfectly pitched at that level. I was a bit concerned about how much they took into the message, but seeing those figures, that's very encouraging to see, so thank you for doing that. Yeah, thanks about all the same. Thank you very much.
Anybody else before I ask anything? No, I'm pleased that the PCC funded that, because it's been something I've been getting on his office for the last 10 years. You know, 68% of its funding was going to Ipswich, the town of Ipswich, not even just east. So we really pushed for that, and I know Sandra has as well, for money on that. Cinema, I'm really pleased that we're looking at somebody else, because you know my views on it, Councillor Crean is expressed as well. And I'm going in reverse order here. Comedy nights, yeah, I haven't been to one for ages. I used to go to a couple of them, but I found them, not very exciting. Probably because not many people there, as you say. So I'd be interested to see how that. But you've also got other big names coming, haven't you, as well, just outside the
Yes,
circuit.
yeah, we do.
I saw that. And you mentioned the Princess Show and the Invented Dinosaur People, Jurassic. Spectacular. I don't know if I'm going to be able to say that. But, is that just a one-off show? Or are you going to do like a few?
No,
days?
both of them are, I think, 3 or maybe even 4 shows.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's magic. I think it'll be something completely different rather than the same things all the time. So,
yeah, that's something else, right? You mentioned about the new revamp of the comedy nights. I know it's got Andy Parsons camp, that's not part of it, the Andy Parsons thing.
No, we managed to pick up the Andy Parsons one and Mark Simmons as well, just as part of their tours. To be honest, we haven't had those offers that often recently, so it's just so happens that it coincided with us doing what we're doing. I don't think there's any correlation.
We used to get comedians coming out, trying out their act before they actually went on the road. Is that something else that might be considered? It's not a finished show, but it's where they come try out their material.
Yes, I think it's a sort of self-fulfilling prophecy in that because we used to have a lot of big name comics, Haverhill would be on their list when it came to where's a good place to try something out. Then we stopped having them, and so therefore they stopped coming. Do you see what I mean? With their tryouts. So I think the more you do, the more you get. In that they come here, they like it here. Everybody that comes here compliments our team. They like working with our tech guys because they go over and above. We are very well kitted out for a small venue. Lots of places don't benefit from everything that we've got technically, as well as the backup that we have in terms of marketing, the fact that we do a proper brochure, we've got a proper website, all of those things. So I think once they come here, they get reminded how good it is. And so therefore it goes on the list for next time I want to try something out, perhaps I'll go there. But if you don't keep in touch with them, then the world of comedy moves so quickly that, they just go to where it's fresh in their mind, I think.
So do they feed back to their agent, and if their agent's got other acts on the books, they make it a Burbage round, is that the way? That's right.
The other thing is, arguably, I've no proof, but arguably, I think because our regular comedy night was done via Off the Curb, who are also a mega comedy agent, on the one hand, that's quite good because they have a route to lots of mega comics, but on the other hand, they wouldn't give us anyone else. So, they're a mega comedy agent, but there are lots of other mega comedy agents and lots of comedians that aren't with Off the Curb. So it was both a good thing and a limiting factor, I think, whereas this new arrangement is not with an agent, it's with a promoter, so they can go to any agent and get any comic that is prepared to come.
I also guess there is a correlation on, a good, well-known comedian comes here, but we don't want them to charge the earth because otherwise we just end up subsidising the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that's what it's your job, of course. So lovely. Anybody else got any questions? I think thanks, Dan, again as usual to everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. Simon.
Kept it warm, please.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah. Kept it warm for you. Right, we'll move straight on to item 8, Charlie. Sandra's here, so she doesn't have to hang around for the rest of the meeting. You've all had her report, which was part of the pack. Usual good before we pass over to Simon. Did you want to say anything first?
Well, I'm not sure.
Do you all know Sandra, by the way?
Oh,
I just
yeah.
want to make sure you know Sandra.
I was going to say, I've heard your name.
Yeah,
That's
I've met
much.
you before.
Yes.
Oh,
It's good to see you. I'm Mary.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, obviously I've done the
Yeah.
report, which you might have a chance to have a look at. Happy to answer any questions as best I can, obviously without any paperwork. Do you want me just to mention things regarding it? Or?
It's up to you. Hopefully people have read it anyway.
Just answer any questions people have on that.
Yeah, that's right.
Shall I take it from the start?
Yeah, take it to the top. I'm sorry to see George going.
Oh, I worked with
He's such a nice
George.
young man.
George, yeah, he's a lovely young man. We've just done a send session late this afternoon, early this evening, and yes, that will be the last time working with George for the send session. He's such a polite young person, and he's come along so much. So we're really pleased to have had him on the team, and we do wish him all the best for his future. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to offer me coffee every time I walk through the door.
Well, I think I managed it this
right,
week for you,
that's
didn't
all right.
I? Last week. There's always somebody there, so thank you. Yeah, and we do training, whether it's within, we did the fire marshal training, which we did here. We always trying to upskill the staff in one way or another, or something that we think would benefit for them, so they're welcome to say that they'd like training for something, or we might see a need, like customer services, safeguarding, anything like that. And obviously there are training that we do have to do.
What's the barrier to training then, Sandra?
What's the
barriers not to training to recruitment?
I mean, obviously it's the fact that we're not offering contracted hours, which is very difficult to offer contracted hours. In the hospitality, you do have a lot of 0 hours. How that's going to change, one's not sure yet. But so it's not like we can say to somebody, we will offer you X amount, definite, every single week. We're not able to at the moment. Although we have said, and we've talked about regarding George's hours, that we'll say, right, those hours won't divvy them up. We'll say to somebody that we can offer you. We need a team leader, somebody who can cook and who can, take pressure within a kitchen. It might not always seem that perhaps we've got lots of people in, but when that ticket's going and then they're lining up there and you've got all your orders, and you might have a party Saturday, Sunday, you might have a party as well, and then you've got all these orders. So it can be quite a pressurised job. And it's difficult finding. We're very lucky with the team we've got there, but that role doesn't suit everybody.
No.
And we've tried the job set, we've not heard from them lately, so we're just about to redo another bit of a recruitment for team leader. We've had signs up at the zone itself. We've gone through Indeed and
Have we got anything on Facebook about it? I'm not seeing
No,
anything.
I haven't. No, I literally discussed it very briefly, and I'll speak to Joe and that, and to what we can put in Sarah and what we can put together to get that out. It's all different.
It's difficult to get one person.
Well, this is it, and we can. What we've done with Indeed, we've had like 80. Wow, 80 people. They don't. Most of them don't meet the criteria. You've got to be over 18 because we want someone to be a key holder. And we're in 16-year-olds, where as much as we do employ young people, we're there to support them, very much so. But I need somebody that's over 18. And
Maybe we need to give more regular sort of hours or sort of work on that somewhere on the line.
well, that's why. Sue suggested that maybe those hours that George has, well, he doesn't have always set hours, but say, right, make sure that we can definitely say to somebody, you'll get this amount. Because some people only want a few hours. Not everybody wants full-time or lots of hours. So that's it really.
So is that the hours that he gives? Is it sort of like all spread over the week, or is it just weekends?
No, it's not just because it can be, I mean, for instance, George does every other Monday for the send, so there's 3 hours there that he does. And then Friday was usually his day, and then some at weekends. See, the thing is, you need to have, it's difficult, you need to have people on your books, because you need to have people that if somebody's off sick or whatever, you've got somebody to call upon. So you need a bank, but not everybody's willing just to sit on that bank and then and not perhaps get hours when they want them. Or you can say, oh, so-and-so's off sick, can you come in? Well, no, I can't today, I've got something planned. So it is difficult, you know. We want people on the books, but we can't always give them the hours that they want. And actually, some, they only want to work weekends. So although we could say, right, we've got some extra hours for you, but it's during the week, so they don't want that. Or we've got people at college, so it's a real juggling.
So what you can offer somebody then is that effective offer that you the McDonald effect, you know, the fact that I'm guessing what you sold in food or before previously has been reduced, isn't it? So does that affect what you can offer somebody coming in? You know, in terms of hours?
Well, at the end of the day, if we're open for X amount of hours, we need people to cover you. The basic, unless we are, something's happened and it hasn't on the occasions where, you know, we very are short-staffed, you have to have somebody on reception safeguarding. That is key. Somebody that moves around that area and lets people in. Then we must have somebody in the cafe and somebody in the kitchen. So that's the minimum that we can have. Ideally, it depends on whether it's, you know, if it's the weekend, it depends whether it's sunny, it depends whether it's rainy. Ideally, we like to have 4 at the weekend, especially if there's parties as well. But we can't, I mean, this last 2 weeks of, we've had the half term, so we've had 2 weeks it's been so mild, hasn't rained. I know it hasn't been sunny, but it's not been unpleasant to be outside, and that's reflected on our numbers. It's difficult, and I hear that the forum that I'm in for indoor play, there are some that are doing really well in the bigger cities and what have you, but a lot of them are struggling, and they're even more concerned with how the budget is and how it's going to be affecting. So I just try to, I don't want to overstaff, but what I don't want to do is leave the staff that are there so short that they're just up to here. It's not fair, but it's hard to get the balance right. And you have to do the rota sort of like say a month beforehand, ideally. Well, I didn't know that this October, this half term just gone, wasn't going to be rainy and cold and miserable. You know, I mean, it might have looked miserable, but you know, it was still fair enough to be out, and it did make a difference on our numbers. So it is difficult.
Yeah, we've got some statistics up here which we asked a lot of this, not all of it, comes from the till system. And although we've got numbers, as it says, these numbers do not include the birthday parties. That's because a birthday is booked, let's say for 20 people, whatever it might be, and they might have an adult with them as well. They're not all separately booked in, so just one party, so you could have potentially maybe 40 people.
Yeah, that's what we did this weekend, looking at the figures for this weekend's parties. One of them, for instance, had, I think it was 49 people, so you had 20 children, and then you had 20 family, you know, parents and a couple of siblings. So for that party, there was actually, like, you know, 49 in that premises for that group.
Well, certainly the last 2 weeks, just to give you some stats, and I did this last night, were up. The first week of the half term was more than the second week. Some of which was because you were closed on Tuesday as well, but they were more than a comparative school week, so obviously people were coming, because you say the weather has a dramatic, equally the weather has a dramatic effect on the kiosk. You know, if it's raining, never takes anything, it's really sunny. Sorry, Councillor Hammond.
Yeah, I just realised on that looking at them figures, August, for instance, is well down. The other, October, November, December. So, just take August as an example. Was there a lot of parties there, or was it the weather, or other sort of reason?
Weather was good. Weather was good. So yeah, why be indoors when you can be outdoors? I can't remember offhand. So there's the parties were
Parties
there.
half an hour
Yeah,
parties.
and that was low. But then there was talk, did that clash with McDonald's opening and
Right.
people having their parties and going off there. We do, as a staff, we do try to think of ways to be able to entice the customers in, and we did something like a free birthday cake, one of our tray bags. Although we thought we advertised it, put it out, and that anybody that booked a party, nobody booked a party on that. And one person said, "Oh, I see, I can get a tray bag." So whether that was down to advertising. So maybe the next thing now is to offer the birthday child a free, a free place. Just because we said we'd leave off until we see how the bookings go. I mean, more coming in. I think 2 came in today. So, yeah.
And I can't remember when McDonald's opened.
August.
August, is it? Maybe July, maybe. When you look at the stats, this year was money terms for cafe sales since that point have gone right down. And I've heard quite a few people when they say to the kids, "Do you want anything to eat?" "No, I want to go to McDonald's."
Yeah, we've heard that.
But equally, I know from other businesses in town, they're all suffering tremendously. Not just, I don't think necessarily the McDonald's effect, but it's just generally people have got no money to spend.
I thought it would happen. I thought last Christmas I was thinking like with the bills, the electricity and what have you. I thought that would show. And I was thinking it's got to come along sometime, and I do think perhaps it is at the moment. But we are trying to think of ways to be able to, after school, especially, we really like to boost the numbers for after school, because they're not busy like we'd like them to be at all. So we're sort of talking to see how we can do that. So.
I think one thing which I highlighted from before we move on to the next bit is parties, where you mentioned about improving the advertising and updating the website.
Yeah, that is being done.
That needs a big push, yeah.
But that's with the team here.
Yeah.
They've been able to take photos already. And
So we need to get that sorted.
Yes.
So, do you want to move on to I think everything else is... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I just say, you talk about the difference between the first and the second week of half term, second week really bad. Where I work, in travel money, we had a really busy second week. Do you think that's the fact that obviously the prices, the holiday companies haven't cottoned on to the second week being a school holiday, so the prices have dropped, so all the kids were on holiday. Do you think that possibly?
It could have been. I mean, because I know we're talking about you're talking about Suffolk. Well, I know people who came and I spoke to some children at the zone, and they were back at school the second week. They weren't off the second week. It's only sort of around here. It's a lot of schools, so they were already going back to school.
I think also when you say that there is, it used to be the old effect of the credit card bills came in round about the 24th, 25th of the month. People suddenly realise they've got no money, don't necessarily get paid on the 28th, they might not get paid until end of the month or even the first week, which I think also affects people. It's quite interesting when you look at all the statistics, not just for them. Right. I think the rest of it is probably. I hope you've obviously all read this. Lots going on up there.
Can I ask? Yes, on the same
Yeah,
activity is unlimited. Suffolk County Council are cutting a lot of money now because they're in trouble financially. And you haven't heard anything for next year as far as activities are limited?
We've completed our form and we've sent it off. And we've had acknowledgement and we're waiting to hear. I mean, it will be a blow. It would be a blow if we didn't get it because it has been great. And I know Paula Martin, who runs, I say runs the group, but she does it through Facebook. So that's how people get to hear about it through her group. And I'm sorry, I've lost my train of thought. What I was going to say about that then. Oh no.
Funding, as far as funding.
The funding, yes. So, and she has said to them, you know, you need to use it or lose it because obviously we fill out the stats and fill them out and send them off, and we need to be showing that it is being used. I mean, yeah.
And you're still getting, you know, she's still sort of selling all the tickets, is she?
Well, yeah, she.
Because I know, because I've been in that group for years and years. That stems back before that. But as I say, you know, I noticed that when she puts it up, it sort of dies, and then she puts it up again, and then she gets a big long list.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
I don't know whether it's full up or not.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a maximum of 25, and you know, it's open as normal, but we don't have the music on because that can be a bit overloading, the music. So, but yeah, we had 25 in today. And it was good. We had some new faces again, and we have done the last couple of times. We've had new parents, and you know, it's not a group for everybody because not everybody, the children have different needs.
Yeah.
So you know, but we do.
My fear with that Facebook one is that obviously you're going to get people that that sort of used it, that been on that sort of particular thing. But I think it's a closed group. I think. I'm just wondering about ones that don't know about it, you know, about this thing. Well, but it seems like they're doing well, but and obviously I don't think it's sort of your part. One could sort of have a talk to her and ask her if is there any other way that she could sort of get it out there so that people, you know, that's got children, very young children, obviously, or even older children, you know, because you go up to the age of 15, is it?
Well, I mean, you know, when you're working with special needs, you get up to the age of 25, but that doesn't happen there. But I mean, Paula puts it out there, and she, you know, to begin with, we had a group A and B, so you know, you didn't go every week. You couldn't take the same place up. You had to. It was every 2 weeks, every so often. You couldn't go all the time and take it up and not let anybody else in. And I know that we have, when we have visitors to the zone, I know I personally spoke to a couple of parents, and I know other staff have, where their children, you know, it's not working out for them in a big group session as a normal session. So we always mention Paula's group. We always pass on the details and say, you know, have you heard of this group? And yeah, so we share that information out and we ourselves see it. You can see as parents who are struggling, and you know, and to be honest, not everybody is so understanding and that of some children with special needs, you know, in the building. So our group is a small group. It's no more than 25, and it works. It does work well. I know you.
It's actually fantastic. I think it's absolutely essential, and the town would be a great loss if we didn't have it. You do an amazing job. They all do those.
Yeah.
Really good for my children.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions for Sandra? No, thank you very much. Sandra, do you know?
Youth work.
So we did again.
Well, oh yeah, sorry. I thought we were not necessarily. I thought we were just accepting the rest of the report. Sorry.
Anything about youth work? It's all right to come and go too much. Yeah, I mean, once again, the same thing with lots of places. You know, it's staffing again. I should have been out this evening, and was hoping to be out, but a member of staff was poorly last week and still isn't well. But as I said, we're hoping, we're just waiting for one DBS to be cleared, which I believe almost happened, so that, you know, it's just having, for me, somebody to be able to walk the streets of Haverhill and go out with, you know, it needs to be, you have to have two of you. But when we have been out more recently, you know, out with the spot band and supporting the knife foundry was absolutely fantastic. It really was, to see how well that was, you know, how well that was taken within the town, and different people that we spoke to who came and spoke to us, and I think I put on there, we had, you know, we had a couple of adults who were in tears on different occasions regarding what was doing, and they were very grateful for what Haverhill Town Council does. It wasn't just a matter of, oh, you do wonderful jobs, you know, to us youth workers, oh, it's regarding Town Council, so, you know, it is noticed. It's not always put out there, but, you know, people did say to us about how, you know, good things were done.
So I wasn't underestimating the thing. I'd really assumed we'd gone through it, so. Not you, I thought we'd read it all.
Talk about it's all wrong, John.
No.
But no, honestly, then it's sad. I'm not going to hold you up, but yeah, there's bits there that you saw.
I think the thing is that, you know, there's a lot goes on that people don't know about. It's not just a play zone. You know, there's all the other things that go on around. I know it's about you know, I know you asked me the other day about laptops for the
Well, we put a funding bid in for that, and we'll see. And it wouldn't be just for the on-the-spot plan. We'd be able to take them out and use them to help with staff training that, because we do have our young, you know, we have some of our young people who work for us, and they're young. So, you know, it's.
I think the music up the zone has gone down well. Now you've got decent music.
Yes, no, we do. Thank you very much. It really makes a difference, especially when you aren't so busy, and to have a bit of background music just gives that a bit more of an atmosphere. So.
Just wondering what you knew about music, John.
Oh no.
He did take the
When
bits.
we took over the zone, there was all this sort of ex-art centre stuff, and there was also a bit of a disco thing up on the mezzanine. Hasn't really worked very well. We tried all kinds of solutions. So ages ago, I installed a PC up there for a completely different project, made redundant. So the tech team here are now playing music, suitable music.
Yes. Gosh.
Not my cup of tea personally, but anyway, but it's not in my age group. The background music, and it goes really well. People are, you know.
And the staff actually have enjoyed it as well. What do you think of the staff? You know, the staff morale, yeah, they enjoyed it.
Obviously, there's all the way down to the signature at the bottom. Anyone else got any questions there? And the other thing, I think they're great, a nice report. Both Karen and the staff and the team do a hell of a lot up there, as I know. I'm regularly on your doorstep doing things.
Yeah, we worked very, very hard. Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Well, we will do our best. George goes Friday.
Well, if I don't see it, tell me.
I will do, yes. Yeah. Okay, was that it?
Great, thank you.
Right,
sir.
thank you. Thank you.
So should we move back to Alpha rather? No, 8th rather. So I'd be youth skills report, which is Karen and her team. Again, a comprehensive report. Lots going on there again. They've now got Catherine left and was replaced by Rebecca up there. So any questions at all? Hopefully you've all read it and everything. Turning point, if you don't know, Dragon Alcohol people who are contracted by County Council, based in Strasbourg Square, then they moved to Health Centre, I believe it is. They had to, their contract was renewed last October, a year ago. And and we've got, we also deal with them as part of the task group from Haverhill as well. Sorry,
Yeah, I was saying, I just wondered, there's really terrific stuff that is done in the name of the town council here. You know, Sandra and Nicola House, Karen, it's fantastic stuff. It's a shame that it all ends up as sort of dry minutes that just get filed in the meeting reports. I just wondered if that could coincide with the these meetings, so once every 2 or 3 months, that there's like a potpourri type mixture of the highlights of this, and it's put on the website. It's sort of not jazzed up, but sort of bullet points that the town council are doing. So,
I mean, something.
There's a lot of people saying, some people there, the town council don't seem to do it.
I agree. I mean, it's no difference to events. Until relatively recently, we didn't have events on our website.
No.
So I agree totally that anything.
Yeah.
The trouble is, do people?
No, I mean, that's not going to get down into the details in the minutes, etc., and the reports, but if we could just have a couple of pages of just highlights and such like, just to coincide with
This is
the
what
meeting.
you achieved.
Yeah, something that people are going to read,
Yeah,
Obviously people
I
do
think-
read this, but I'm not about the public.
No, I understand that, but I think it's more likely they're going to go to social media to read something than the website.
Or do that then.
So that might be. You may link it to a website, but it needs to be
I'd
published.
say just get the message out.
Yeah, I think actually social media would be really good, because we as councillors got our own Facebook or what have you, social media sites. We could spread it.
I mean, there's lots of it about it. It has to go somewhere. And probably the website is the best place, not as minutes, but as
No, as I say,
because often people, come to precept time particularly, they all say, look, what does the council do for us?
Say, I don't use social media whatsoever. If I want information, I'll go to the website.
Okay, but there you go. I mean, that's fine. And people don't do either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was just going to say what you said there, he was saying, well, what the council have done to us? We've got something there in terms of points there, that's what we do as a council.
But
Not as
equally-
individuals, but as what we do for the town.
And what we were just saying just a minute ago is things like the send you were saying is, I've got a problem, who can I go to? Yes, they do come to the town council because the town council get asked about all kinds of things got nothing to do with the town council
Yeah.
all day long.
Anything over
But,
That's right, John. That was my fear of, with the Monday nights that I send, it seems that the same people keep coming up. This is what I see on the Facebook page, and I'm just scared that, as they get older and leave, do their own thing, then there's other send ones that don't know anything about it.
we do something like that?
Yes, and obviously they do have, those projects have Facebook pages and
Yeah, they do, yeah.
websites anyway.
But as you say, some people don't use Facebook. Don't.
Yeah.
They don't need to use social media. They go.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
a conversation which I
Oh,
would
yeah.
like to do to.
Good idea.
Doom scrolling.
Yeah, I think Johnny's absolutely right.
Yes,
And it's something
sell
you
what the
get.
council does, basically.
Sorry, Joe, it's something you come up against frequently, aren't it? It's like,
It's only got a summary, hasn't
yeah,
it?
it has, it's not reams and reams because people
Yeah.
won't read
No,
it.
exactly.
So it needs to be very
Yeah.
succinct into the, sorry.
Sorry, I was talking to
Sorry.
you. I was still
Sorry, go ahead.
Social media just comes and goes. So if I want to look at something, go on Facebook. I'm like, it's fine. Stuff that's already happening.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, if they want to read the minutes, they can read the minutes as well.
I'll probably need to read the minutes.
No.
So page on the website as well.
Okay.
Pictures.
Any other questions on?
They would.
Okay, anything else on Karen's side of things at all? Again, a very comprehensive report.
Yeah, very good.
Tells you everything you need.
I love the bit, what she puts about people that she's helped, that
Case studies.
Right,
Yeah.
case studies, yeah.
If you
And
ask
it's
anyone,
mentioned by Dan as well, wasn't it? He sort of case studies as well.
if you ask anyone in the street in Haverhill, have you read this report on such and such? I'm pretty sure 99% will say no.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's unfortunate,
Yeah.
because the amount of hard work that goes into it.
Yeah, not only the hard work, but also writing the report.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Right, excuse me, we'll move back to item 7 Alpha, which is started a grant request. Haverhill Scout Guides would like £651.60 towards hand dryers. That's what I'm looking for. If I remember that's what it was without reading it.
Specifically, they're fitting out.
They're fitting out. I don't know if any of you see the building at all.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
interested in it.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Is it? You've been?
Yes.
It's a bit more substantial than I thought it was going to be. But,
Yeah,
any comments on this?
Reason why they made it big, Chair, is so they can get some income coming
No,
in.
no, I understand that, but I was
Yeah.
just quite, I was, yeah.
Yeah.
When I saw the plans originally, you don't gauge it. It's Councillor Brown.
Yeah, happy to propose.
Yeah, second.
I think
Yeah.
Councillor Page got it 30 milliseconds before that.
No, you see them yesterday, you know, and you think, what a great thing for the town.
Yeah, they were very good yesterday, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favour, please vote. Great, thank you very much indeed. Moving on to item 7B for Bravo, town pastors, like £1,000 towards their costs, which includes the, well, we used to call it shopwatch radios, but it's called something else now, isn't it?
Very
So
good.
town link.
Town link, that's what I'm looking for.
800 a year.
So I say,
It seems a lot of money for a radio system for something that's only used.
they're not cheap.
No, I think radio is not cheap. It seems particularly expensive.
Well, it's run by a commercial company in Bury St Edmunds, but it's also the infrastructure that's down here as well that they have to use. I think it's one of these diminishing things that they used to be able to fund all this themselves, and now they're having a struggle as you look there, you know. So there's for 2 radios.
Have they always been doing this work?
Oh,
I know that it
how
hasn't.
many years have you done it?
Yeah, I know it started, and I haven't heard anything about it for quite some time.
No, well, they stopped for a
And I
couple of
did
years.
wonder if
COVID,
perhaps-
obviously.
Yeah, if it had stopped, and this is a restart of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they started.
They're still going, but it's obviously there was that big lull, but they are still going.
Yeah, but they were. I think they started again in earnest about a year ago.
No, September it said, haven't they?
Well, it's September, but they were
Yeah,
started.
before-
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So obviously you've got radios insurance. You know, that includes personal protection sort of thing. If you
I
like.
think it said something about chocolate bars.
Well, they do. I mean,
It's
they
like
hand
that.
out to stop people. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
training obviously, and
Yeah,
a
sure.
little bit of money for the old OIC to store their gear and everything. Councillor Lucarini.
Yeah, I have no problem with the proposal and they do good work, but just be interesting how they find the town now. 'Cause my impression of Haverhill on Friday and Saturday is, is dead. There isn't much nightlife anymore. I've been in the pubs early hours of the morning and there's hardly anyone around. Since we lost things like Parvu, we haven't got loads of people flocking into the street come kicking out time.
Well, hopefully, if we allow this, we'll get a report from them and we can ask those questions. I mean, they have done a little bit of fundraising themselves, obviously with donations, and they're only a small band, aren't they?
Yeah.
Of volunteers.
How was it not?
Pregnant pause.
I just wondered how we were with our funding for this year. Do you have an idea sort of the levels, how much money we got?
Fine at the moment.
Yeah. Second question, do you know? Doesn't the PCC normally fund this sort of thing?
I don't know if they've done in the past.
We have done in the past.
We have done it in the past. I don't know about the PCC. The trouble, as I said earlier on, the PCC, people don't know about his funding. I think he's got 300,000 a year.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier about a lot of council just because Ipswich know about it and they ask for it. He always says, if they don't ask me for the money, then,
No,
I'll
that's
give it
right.
to them.
No.
So it's been like the ideal, I think,
Yeah.
sort of thing for him to get his hand in his pocket.
Councillor Brown?
I was going to say, I was thinking possibly this £1,000 is quite a lot of money for something that's just starting up again. What about us as a town council, £500 and then putting them towards West Suffolk councils again? To be fair, I've got some money and I presume some of the other West Suffolk councils have got some money.
It's a great thing to do.
Yeah,
but
and
I think it's quite a lot of
we can make up, the rest of it.
Yeah, I was going to get in touch with John.
Yeah.
I think they do already talk to John.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had anything from him.
So he's okay. So.
Yeah.
I'm happy to sort of put some other safety money towards it if it helps the town council.
Same here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got a proposal for £500, and then there seems to be some willingness for West Side Council to put some locality maybe to top it up as a joint effort.
Yeah.
So, okay, so can
I was
I...
going to second.
Councillor Martin seconded. All those in favour, please show. Can you go that?
We haven't got the articles.
Sorry? No, that's fine. Right, 7C, we have not had the application yet for the Air Cadets for their traffic management parade. So we'll move on to 9, section 9, which is the grant recipients thing, which has been a bit of a concerted effort by Vicky to get people to actually report on the
Do you have to scroll up on screen one at a time, or people happy to take them?
well, yes, I just got to find them. I hopefully you've all read them because they're in the pack. Do you have any questions on any of them at all? I think they were comprehensive.
I'll just point out how much money Reach has got for their people. It's just unbelievable now, isn't it? Wow.
Oh, they well, Reach, they're getting money from all over the place now, aren't they? Also spending it, of course.
The benefit gain.
Benefits, yeah, the benefit gain.
Oh, the benefit gains, yeah, that's right. I mean, in terms of that, yeah, sorry, we had the other meeting the other day, of course, Saturday, doing some. Oh, yeah.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
And I think,
For a small town like this, or area like this, unbelievable.
yeah, of course they're spreading their wings a little bit outside the town as well. Okay, sorry.
It's worth remembering that for a small town like this, that benefit, we call it benefit gain, but actually that was a benefit they were entitled to, but were denied and got back. And just in a small town like that, there's that much underpayment of benefit that organisations like Reach managed to undo to get back again. So there's a huge number of people who are living unnecessarily in a deeper level of poverty than they would if actually benefits were given correctly in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like 25-page report that they have to fill in. Application, 25 pages is ridiculous.
But it's also the fact, as you're alluding to, is a lot of these people who are maybe not bothering to talk to Reach or anyone like that, who are not getting their benefits and never know they're entitled to anything, but they're quite happily, stumble along from.
There's a massive underspend, isn't there?
It used to be in court, and then it's just staying in that hole forever.
Yeah. So I can't remember.
Yeah, what I was going to say is, could we just send a letter of thanks for their report and the good work that they do? So each and every thing.
Yeah. Get Vicky. Okay.
Good. Sorry.
Right, so can I propose for all those en masse, those reports? Sorry. I think I've got Councillor Hannon first and seconded by Councillor Bailey. I don't see somebody hands go up at once. All those in favour, please show. Right, item 10A, to adopt the minutes of the Civic Working Party held on the 15th of October. Actually, what we didn't do these ones.
No, because those were already accepted beforehand.
Yeah.
They were just been printed off.
I might say something about that. Alright, sorry. 15th of October, and I've got a proposal, please. Councillor Martin, seconded. Councillor Hanlon. All those in favour, please show. And the second one, the community events, October the 14th. be held. Can I have a proposer for that? Councillor Lucarini, seconded by Councillor Smith. All those in favour, please show. Thank you very much. Hopefully you've read those as well. You've also had the explore
I don't think we did.
No.
No, those are accidentally in your pack now.
they're in your pack you sent out.
Yeah, they shouldn't have been,
Okay. I'll just comment on them.
because they went to full council, not to leisure.
Have we had these full council?
Yes, you remember you split the grant?
Yeah, ages ago.
Yeah.
No, this is the report though.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
But the grant was given by full council, not by this committee, so the
Okay.
report will go to full council.
Oh, well, I'll talk about the full council then.
Sorry, everybody.
I love it.
Right, so, date of next meeting, Tuesday the 14th of January next year. 2025. So this is still not too anymore, is it?
No, well, you have
I know we haven't approved them yet. We know there's been a confused the other day, just in the chops. And the closure at
2007.
2007.
20